If there's one thing that I've struggled with in my entire life, it's got to be getting lean. It took me 3 full years to make this transformation. I've literally learned so much about the human body and psychology that I've condensed it all into these simple 5 steps. Now, this isn't just your average video with shit like calories in, calories out, walk these steps and you will lose weight, whatever. I have genuinely not seen these anywhere else on the internet, and they're so fucking powerful that if you take the time to actually apply them, I promise you that getting your dream body is going to be a piece of cake. Now, the first step is capable of not only changing your body, but your entire life. So I need you to pay close attention. Are you ready? You will never be able to lose weight. You see, this is you right now, and this is where you want to get to. You'll never be able to do it, but you still will be able to end up here. And what I mean by that is the current version of you, the one who's watching this video right now, sitting with shit posture in his chair, hunched over, that version of you will never be able to get to their dream physique. This is why no matter how many times you go on a new diet, go for runs, start going to the gym, you quit every single time and always go back to your normal self. This is because nothing has changed. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this, but there are 2 states that I need you to know about: the physical and the mental. You see, whenever you go onto a diet or you start training in the gym, your physical state has changed to that of you actually losing weight. However, you keep fighting this losing battle, and that's because the mental state of you is still its current fat self. It's constantly pulling and pulling on you to go back to your normal self until eventually you don't have a choice but to do that. But what if we could flip this around? So what if instead of your physical and mental states pulling you away from your goals, what if they start to pull you towards them instead? There's a very famous quote by Sam Ovens: "We don't rise to the level of our expectations, but we fall to the level of our standards." So the current you cannot rise to the level of your expectations, but instead remains at what you deem is your lowest standard, which is right now your current body, which is fat and out of shape. It's like if you brush every single day, sure, like brushing twice might be nice, but you'll never go below once per day. That's your lowest standard. Like, even on your worst day, you could still manage to brush your teeth at least once. There's literally a version of you out there right now with your dream physique as his lowest standard. Even on his worst day, he will still be able to maintain your dream physique. He cannot allow himself to fall below that standard. Now, what you need to do is to get rid of your current self and to become that version of yourself, which, having that dream physique, is not only achievable, but is second nature to you. Now, the fastest way you can do this is to change your self-image. Currently, your self-image is that you're fat, you never train, or you never eat cleanly. You need to change your self-image to the version of you that can achieve your goals effortlessly. I want you to think about all the habits and traits that this desired version of you has. I want you to write them all down in a document, and I need you to get photos of people with your dream physique and to put them into the same document. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a new character for you to become. Now, we're going to be doing this little exercise, and don't be a pussy and skip past this. Make sure you do this. This will honestly change your life. Now, close your eyes. I want you to think of a goal in your mind right now. It could be a physique or the weight goal that you want. Now imagine the exact moment that you achieve that goal. For example, you're on a sandy beach right now, relaxing, toes in the sand, but all of a sudden you're really warm, and so you take off your shirt. You've never taken off your shirt before in public, but this time there's something different. You look amazing. You've got a defined chest, veins across your abs, a massive back, and your arm looks like Thor's. You walk over to get a drink at the bar, and literally everyone is looking at you in awe. They're whispering amongst themselves about how good you look. You pretend that like you can't hear them, but secretly you do, and you feel really good inside. You sit down and then you order a drink. You glance over to your right, where this wholesome little fat kid runs up to you and he sits next to you. He starts asking you and questioning you about what your workout routine is and what do you eat per day, and how he can look like you as well. You remember all of the time that you spent overweight and how it felt, and you decide to help this little kid on his own journey. You can open your eyes now. Your heart is probably beating really fast, and you're feeling all of these positive emotions rush up inside of you. Accomplishment, pride, happiness. I want you to remember all of these emotions. Every single morning, after you wake up, I want you to open your document, read through it, look at the pictures, and then visualize this exact moment in vivid detail, recalling every single minute thing that you can. And I also want you to feel all of the positive emotions again and again that you've just felt right now. Now, what this is going to do is that it's going to push you into being your desired character. The more you do this, the more your current self is going to be torn apart and rebuilt into the image that you want. Just like how muscles break down and then grow in the gym. You're going to be closer and closer towards that version of you who can build that body. You're going to notice instantly that you don't do the bad habits anymore. You don't want to eat the junk food. You want to go train and exercise in the gym. You want to do this because that version of you on that sandy beach, he does all of this effortlessly. Now, this isn't just some sort of mental hack. You're going to need to put in a lot of work. Your current self is going to fight like hell to survive. He's going to try and pull you and claw you back down into the hole that you came from. You're going to get cravings and you're going to get hungry, and your current self is going to convince you that you're not making any progress on your diet, so you should just give up. You need to instantly recognize this and be like, hang on, wait a minute. This guy that I'm trying to get rid of, he's just creeping back in and he's trying to pull me back down. I'm not going to let him, no matter what. And before you know it, given enough effort and time, you are that new character. And that can take on to our next step, which is the next most important after the first step. You need to get pissed off. You need to become incredibly angry with yourself, but not in the way that leads to depression or anxiety. Instead, you need to do it in a very constructive way, in a way that gives you unbridled motivation and energy. And here's exactly how you do that. Now, this is quite an extreme step, so if you're not really into this, you can skip this step and just move on to the next. After you wake up, after you do all of the things in the previous step, I need you to look at your body in the mirror and just think about how fat, how ugly, just how out of shape you are. Grab your belly, grab your man boobs, and just think to yourself, how in the world did I let myself get to this point? You need to get pissed off that you let yourself get like this. Not anyone else, not your parents, not the evil food industry. You, yourself, you did this to yourself. However, this brings along a very, very good silver lining. If you alone got yourself into this mess, you alone can get yourself out. You have the ultimate control. The sole reason why you haven't lost the weight is that the pain of staying the same is not bigger than the pain of changing. You may disagree with me, but you're pretty content with your situation right now and your body. However, the more pissed off and the more angry you can get, the more you can tip the scales. You know you've done it right when it physically and mentally hurts you to keep staying in the same body that you're in right now, when it hurts to just exist. It's at this point where change is so easy. You'll be thinking to yourself, how have I wasted this much time with this chubby body? I need to start losing weight right now. All of those people that you see who get into shape or become rich after like a breakup or losing their job, that's because the pain of staying the same was higher than the pain of changing. And so they did. And so they got incredible transformations. And once you have this down, you've won literally half the battle already. Now we can move on to the next step. And I'm gonna be honest, I straight up stole this from Solo Leveling. So if you've seen any of those videos, Solo Leveling changed my life, then you know how well this works. You need to gamify you and your weight loss. Everything should be seen as a skill which can be leveled up. You right now aren't very disciplined, so your discipline skill might be like a level 1 or a level 2, and your exercise skill might be like level 0. You're stuck in the tutorial, bro. And moving forward, every single time that you do something which helps you on your journey, you gain XP to which you can use to then level up. For example, if you feel really tempted to cheat on your diet one day, but you don't, you've just gained a shit ton of XP for your discipline level. And so that could jump from level 2 to level 3. Now, going back to what we've just said before, what levels would your desired self have? He could be on a level 50 discipline, which means that he just doesn't get tempted by junk food anymore. Or he could have level 75 exercise, which means that he consistently goes to the gym and is really strong. Now just think about how much XP that you need to get to those levels and then just treat it as a game. Now the thing is that if we're treating it like a game, you need to keep track of everything. Because think about it, when you load into a game, it's not just some plain map with no instructions, right? Everything is tracked. For example, how much money you have, how many kills you're on, or like what the next mission is. So just do the exact same thing. Track your weight, track your calories, and have a clear plan that you can execute on every single day. If you need a plan, you can grab my free weight loss ebook in the description. And when you make more and more progress with this, your whole character can level up. And before you know it, you'll be at a level 100 with all of your stats maxed out. It's at that point, it's time for a new game, but we won't talk about that just yet. Now the next step is to find your style of weight loss. Now everyone's different, everyone's got their own preferred methods. Some people are like really balanced, so they could have 50% junk food and 50% healthy meals and lose weight in a slow, steady, sustainable way. However, some people can't do that. They know that they need to get rid of all the junk food in the house because if they get it onto their taste buds, their whole diet is finished. I'm exactly like this as well. And so these people might need to lose weight really fast and then find a sustainable way to maintain it after. You need to find what works for you personally. And the only way you can do that is by experimenting with different pieces of advice. So watch a bunch of fitness YouTubers and take all of the things that they say and go try them for yourself. Take what works for you specifically and disregard the rest. Then you just rinse and repeat with a whole bunch of new YouTubers and new advice. And then over time, what will happen is that you'll have a stack of advice that works for you specifically. And when you have this, that's when you make significant progress. If you want to avoid going through this process by yourself, you can click the top link in the description. Now the next step is one that I overlooked for so long, and it's way more important than I thought. I used to just start my diet with the sole aim of, oh, I'll stop the diet whenever I get to my dream physique. There's absolutely no wonder why I couldn't last past 2 weeks with my diet and always end up rebounding. Whenever you're trying to lose weight, you need clear boundaries. You need an exact start date and an exact end date, which cannot be moved. I suggest you do 3 months of losing fat and 2 months of maintaining after. And then if you need to lose more weight, you can start another fat loss phase after this. So right now, write down, starting tomorrow, 29th of August, I am going on a 3-month fat loss phase. What this does is that you enter this special fucking zone in your mind that you're in a different season from before. You're not that person anymore. You're not that person who binges on junk food. You stick to your diet and you stick to your meals and you train in the gym. Things have changed. You're now locked in. Now, when you do this makes building up all of that self-image work so much easier, and you'll get to your goals way faster. So the reason that we need an end date is that, well, for one, you can't just keep losing fat forever. That's just physically impossible. But there's another reason that goes so much deeper than that. When you're truly in the trenches, when you truly cannot do the things that you said that you'd do, you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You know that there is a clear aim which you're going for. You can tell yourself that you only need to make it to the end of this and the world is yours after. And believe me, this is extremely powerful. Literally every single day, I was walking around 15,000 steps. My legs were aching and my shoes were torn at the heels because I was walking so much. I thought about quitting nearly every single time. I thought about going home, sitting down with a nice milkshake and a burger and just relaxing. What got me through this period was that there was only 3 more weeks left on my diet. 3 more weeks and I could rest easy. I could live the rest of my life as a champion, knowing that I've made it through. This really motivated me to not be the type of person that leaves things halfway through. That's not me anymore. That was my past self. I've evolved into my desired self, and he is not capable of breaking promises to himself. You've now got 5 things that can not only change your body, but your entire life. If you need exact specifics on how to lose weight, you can click and watch this video right here. Or if you've got any questions, you can DM me on Instagram.